y'all doing? It's another episode of the Crazy Kiss Countdown.
Yeah.
Episode number 7. We're here to talk about and review and count down the songs from a Kiss album. That's right, a Kiss album.
Wait a minute, it's Kiss?
Yeah, not Garth Brooks or Taylor Swift. This time, Kiss.
Who's Kiss?
Alrighty, so how we I'm gonna have to edit that out of there. We'll get comments about that. This week we're doing the album called Carnival of Souls, the final sessions.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun! Kind of a controversial album, but we'll be talking about that. Here are some facts about Carnival of Souls.
This album was supposed to come out in 1996, but instead it was released on October 28th of 1997. The record company was Mercury, and the producer was Toby Wright, Paul Stanley, and Gene Simmons.
Yeah, and apparently Gene thought up this idea of having kind of a grungy style album going on, which was kind of big at the time, and the other band members didn't really like it, and Paul especially had misgivings, but they talked him into it, and thus the result was this.
Yeah, some also say that this album was just one big mistake, and even go as far as to call it music from the Elder 2.
Ooh.
They weren't even going to release this album, but a bunch of bootleg copies of the songs got out, forcing the band to actually come out with it and finish it.
So you mean Gene was like, wait, we might as well make money?
We might as well.
That's weird. Gene say that? That's weird. So, controversial album for some people. Some people really like this album, some people really don't. How did you guys feel about this album? Luke, what did you think about Carnival of Souls?
This is one of my favorite albums, actually. I have to say, I'm on that side of the tape. I thought everything about this album was good. I mean, I could see the production being somewhat different, and I don't think that would hurt it very much. But really, other than I Walk Alone, all the songs on this were really good.
Sorry, Bruce.
Yeah, and that's not just because of Bruce Kulick's vocal. I genuinely don't really care for that song. But everything else on there I actually really enjoy, and I know a lot of other people too, people that don't like Kiss at all, that like this album.
So in that respect, Gene Simmons had a good idea, because it reached people that ordinarily wouldn't have listened to them. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty dang good too. I mean, it is different than the others, but I mean, I think that's a good thing because it kind of makes it stand out from the others if you do like that style, which I do like that style, so I mean, I don't have any problems with it. I think it's kind of like a decent addition to go along with all the other ones.
What do you think, Madge?
I agree completely with what they're saying. Also, Eric Singer with blonde hair is a lot better than Eric Singer with dark hair.
He plays different?
He does. He plays
does,
different, and it
actually.
seems like he's a lot nicer when he's blonde.
Yeah, so this is the first album that
That's great.
we have reviewed that had Eric Singer on it. And she's referring to the fact that we've met him a couple of times. And one time he was pretty cool, but the other time he was a big jerk. So I don't know if he was having a bad day, or I've heard people say he's a nice guy, really. But the one time we met him, he was out of line and has kind of left a bad taste in our mouth. But was he blonde either one of those times?
Nope.
So if he'd have been blonde, everything would have been
It
okay.
would have been fine.
Apparently.
Somehow.
Anyway, so there's Carnival of Souls. What do you guys think of Eric Singer as far as his drumming, not his personality, on this album?
I think
Or in
everything
general.
he did fit this extremely well.
Yeah, he's a very good drummer.
Yeah. Bruce, once again, Bruce, I saw him on Facebook mention recently on Eric Singer's birthday that his favorite Eric Singer drum track is Jungle from this album.
Interesting.
And personally, I like to hate what he does and hate the very first track.
He likes to hate what he does. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, no. The first track, I like Eric Singer's drum track on the first track of this album, which is called Hate.
Okay. This is the first album we've reviewed that was within your lifetimes. You two, anyways. Not you. So how do you feel about that? You got an album here that came out since you've been alive.
That's kind of weird.
First
I was
one. You were one.
I was one.
Yep. So apparently I've heard the story that they were working on this album. It was just going to be a normal album. I don't even think it was going to be called Carnival of Souls necessarily, and they had a different cover. And then the MTV Unplugged thing happened,
Yeah.
and then they decided to go back into makeup and get the original guys, and so they pretty much just scrapped this. We're not even going to do it. Then all those booty copies came out. All the booty copies came out, and they were terrible. And they were like, "Wow, we got to go back and fix this." And Gene Simmons wanted some more money. I don't know why, but he needed more money, so they went back and did it. And so then this was the result. And they had Tommy Thayer had filmed all of this recording session somewhere
That's right.
and taken pictures. And I even saw online where they were standing around and people were taking their pictures. And this was one of the things. They, not knowing that it was going to end up being the album cover, I would assume.
Yeah.
And so, Carnival of Souls.
It was a secret thing on one of the Kissology DVDs, wasn't it? A bunch of film
Yeah.
of them recording this.
Apparently, Tommy Thayer took hours and hours and hours of them, for some reason. Just here's how a Kiss album is made. You know, not realizing it was going to be a weird one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so listen to this again, all the way through, just as an album here recently. We all did. Voted on our favorite songs. You'll never guess what song got last place, but we'll get to that in a minute. The song on Carnival of Souls, the final sessions that got third place, was I Will Be There. Written by Paul Stanley and Bruce Kulick and Curtis Cuomo.
Ooh. That's a nice last name.
Were you complimenting my pronunciation, or what was that?
I don't know.
Good job, parents, for having that last name.
Yeah. Lead singer on that, of course, was Paul, and it got a 39 out of 55. And this song was written by Paul for his son, Evan. And I've been seeing video you can click and watch his son play guitar. I haven't done it yet, but I've seen where you can. But anyways, he wrote that song for him, however old he was at the time. I had this as the highest rating, as the best song on the album. I thought it was, you could transplant that song onto any other no makeup Kiss album and it would pretty much fit, unlike a lot of the ones on here. The lowest rating was Luke's girlfriend Savannah, who had it at number 7 out of 12, still in there. What did you guys think of I Will Be There?
I like it. Paul's voice is amazing, as always.
And the instrumentation on that, all the different guitar tracks, and there's not actual drums on that, right? That's, I'm remembering correctly, there's just like percussion kind of things which really make it flow nicely.
Yeah. So, that song, I've heard that Paul had the hardest time on this album trying to get his voice to fit into this kind of style of music. But that song was just perfect for his voice. So. And he did a good job making himself fit into the other songs too. But that song especially. So let's put a third place sticker on the board for good old Paul Stanley once again.
Yeah. Anyway, second place was Hate.
Yay!
It was written by Gene Simmons, Bruce Kulick, and Scott Van Zinn. Scott Van Zinn? Van Zinn.
Not a
Good
school-
last name, parents.
Oh, but yeah.
Lead singer was Gene Simmons. Scores 40 out of 55, which isn't bad. Some fans believe the song would have fit right in with the Revenge album. Which I can see, I think.
Yeah, what do you guys think of that?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I think they were talking about Gene's voice mostly. The way he sang the song sounds
yeah.
like something that he would have done right at that same time.
I guess you could somewhat compare the song to Unholy.
Yeah.
The highest rating was Luke at number 1, and the lowest rating was Dad at number 10.
Oh!
Yeah,
Hated it.
big difference. I disliked the song. Yeah, I don't know. That song sounds to me, it's like they had a good riff, and then there's lots of starts and stops. It just doesn't flow. It's like they weren't done with it. You know what I mean? Like it still needed to cook some more before they should have put it out there. I don't know. That's just me. What did you like about it?
The drums. I don't know, from the moment I heard that song, the thing that stood out to me was that drum thing that he's doing during the verse, which, I don't know, Majenica, if you've ever made this connection, just do 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 do
It is?
do do
Oh,
do
it
do
is. Oh my
do
God.
do, which is Wasteland.
From their band, Right Way to Nowhere.
Yeah.
So good job there, blonde Eric Singer.
Yeah. I copied you. No, I didn't. Unintentionally.
Unwittingly. Alrighty, so second place sticker goes on the board for Gene for that song. Hate.